The original Ben 10 classic art style had an unmatched aura, the heavy shadows, the gritty textures, the feeling that Ben was actually transforming into terrifying alien monsters. But then, things changed. Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, Omniverse, the reboot, and the new comic. They all brought great stories, but visually, we lost something massive. Just look at this. When you see UAF or Omniverse screenshots completely redrawn in the classic art style by incredibly talented fans, the difference is night and day. It instantly begs the question, what if Cartoon Network never abandoned the original art style? What if characters like Malware were designed in 2005 with that gritty, monstrous aesthetic? Today, we are looking at the absolute best classic redraws on the internet and uncovering the actual behind the scenes and financial reasons why Cartoon Network stripped away the greatest art style of our childhood. First up, let's look at this shot from the brand new Dynamite Entertainment Ben 10 comic book, reimagined in the 2005 aesthetic. The artist perfectly captured the original series' facial structures. Gwen sports her classic facial framing but carries her modern, updated hairstyle. Ben keeps his signature look but wears the new comic's offset striped t-shirt design. And look at Grandpa Max. The artist integrated the new beard design flawlessly. Now, instead of looking like an ancient Bruce Wayne, straight out of the Dark Knight Returns movie, he actually looks like a natural evolution of our favorite plumber. Next up is this legendary shot from Alien Force. Look at the classic redone version. Gwen looks flawless here, heavily channeling her older, high-tier Gwen 10,000 look. They brought back her classic belt and traded her flat UAF energy constructs for that raw, swirling blue magnetic mana aura. Kevin naturally matches his original street punk aesthetic, complete with the heavy padlock chain around his neck. Even the Ultimatrix gets an upgrade. The artist swapped the flat green interface for the metallic white and silver core of the prototype Omnitrix. The extra attention to directional highlights and dramatic lighting changes the entire vibe of the scene. It really goes to show how detailed the original style was, even for simple, everyday scenes. In later series, animators stopped drawing fingernails on the human characters to save time. But in this Omniverse classic redraw, Ben's design gets that complexity back. His white jacket looks so cool in this one. Ben and Julie looking good together in this shot. They gave an extra detail in Ben's t-shirt and his Omnitrix's color. The classic color grading and heavy environmental lighting completely elevate the panel. This one is from Omniverse. Gwen and Kevin looking good, especially Gwen. But where this style truly dominates is the alien biology. Take a look at Swampfire. The original UAF design is iconic, but visually it's very flat. The classic revision completely alters his weight. The artist added intricate, creeping vine lines across his musculature, distinct yellow seed pods bulging from his shoulders, and deep, uneven organic folds. Throw in a glowing background moon, and it feels like a genuine monster movie. The same goes for Astrodactyl. In Omniverse, he looked highly stylized, almost like a colorful, smooth cartoon character wearing a jetpack. But by translating him into the 2005 style, the artist leaned heavily into his dinosaurian ancestry. Look at the raw texture on his skin, the exposed razor-sharp teeth in his beak, and the way his wings actually look like leathery prehistoric membranes rather than clean energy props. It completely fixes the character. I also love when these redraws give the aliens actual stylized gear. Look at Wrath in this shot sporting a classic wrestling shirt. It makes so much more sense for his character, whereas in Alien Force, most of the new transformations were just completely naked. Even Captain Nemesis looks incredible here, with a highly stylized shift to his iconic N logo and heavy armor plating. In this style, every alien is so detailed, like this Humangosaur from Alien Force having back spikes similar to real dinosaurs or the reboot version. Big Chill having gills and eyes like a bug with his classic black and white outfit, and many more. Then we have the villains. The hybrid looks terrifyingly detailed in this style. Kevin is also detailed with extra spikes. And the reboot Vilgax looks like an absolute peak warlord. Same goes for the Alien Force Vilgax. Okay, so this is Vilgax from the new comic redone in a leaner style. It feels a bit off because the artist took the thinner, lanky proportions of the classic species and left him without his massive armor. Only his gauntlet part is inspired from his classic armor. Vilgax just looks a little weird when he's thin and stripped down. I don't know how I feel about this one. But overall, 99% of these fan-made designs don't just look good. They look better than what the official studios gave us, simply because they utilize the mechanics of the classic art style. To understand why the art style changed, you have to follow the money. The original 2005 series was handled by a massive collaboration of elite talent, bringing Man of Action's comic book vision to life with dense line work and complex background art. But that level of detail is incredibly expensive and slow to animate. By the time Alien Force rolled around, the network needed a faster, cheaper production pipeline, so they simplified the character sheets. They traded sharp, aggressive details, like heavy textured armor and intricate facial patterns, for smoother, rounder shapes that were much faster for overseas animators to draw over and over again. They stripped away the monster aspect to make them look more like standard, streamlined superheroes. It was a purely financial decision. Master Control used to feel like a heavy mechanical piece of alien tech strapped to Ben's wrist. Later on, it just became a glowing green software flip. Easier to animate means cheaper to produce, and simpler designs are much easier to manufacture into plastic toys. In the original 2005 series, Vilgax was so heavily built that every single footstep had a literal screen-shaking thud sound. He felt like an unstoppable, towering warlord, whereas Alien Force removed his heavy armors and accessories. He felt more like a generic green comic book villain in a tight spandex suit. They completely stripped away his intimidation factor just to make him easier to animate. Now we know how much backlash the reboot got from the fandom. It was literally a flop just because they tried to save some money. Now, when you look at the current state of global animation, this Western downgrade becomes even more frustrating. Just recently, Japan took home massive international awards for the breathtaking animation in Demon Slayer. And let's be honest, they absolutely deserve it. Japanese studios are prioritizing unbelievable visual spectacles, pouring resources into fluid, high-octane compositing that makes every single frame look cinematic. Meanwhile, Western studios often prioritize cutting costs, leaving legendary franchises like Ben 10 with flattened, simplified visuals. And this isn't just a Ben 10 problem, it's plaguing the entire Western animation industry right now. Look at Invincible. The writing is phenomenal, the voice acting is top tier, but the animation in seasons 2 and 3 can feel incredibly stiff and lifeless, like PNGs sliding across a background. Meanwhile, fans on Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube are sitting in their bedrooms, single-handedly animating better action sequences and redrawing better character designs than multi-million-dollar studios. Which brings me to my final point. We see these incredible artists pouring their souls into fixing these designs. Is it really that hard for these massive studios to just hop into an artist's DMs and say, "Hey, your work is incredible. Would you like to join our company?" There is a goldmine of talent right here in the fandom, practically begging to bring that golden era quality back to our screen. If a studio actually gave them the budget and the time, we wouldn't just be imagining what classic Ben 10 could look like. We'd be watching it. Let me know in the comments which of these classic redraws was your absolute favorite, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next breakdown. See ya!